Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, June 12th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. In what was an unusual election given the pandemic, the town of Norwood came out to vote Monday, June 8th. NCM reported the results live as the only contested race this year were 2 seats on the Board of Selectmen. Congratulations to newcomer Matt Lane and returning Selectman Helen Donahue, who will occupy 2 vacant Selectmen seats. Helen addressed the Norwood community live after her victory.
We have the pandemic, we have the problem about the racial problems, and it's a tough time that we're experiencing here in the States. Around the town of Norwood, we can count on the kindness of the people and the interest that people show. I want to thank the people, the other candidates who conducted a fair and clean campaign with each other. I'd like to thank all of the people who worked on my campaign to help so much. And I'd also like to thank the voters, the people who made it possible. This was a close election. Matt was way out front. We could tell that all along. Amanda and Debbie and I, we were all very close to each other. And it's a good thing because Amanda is new to Norwood and bright and very intelligent. Debbie has been around on the planning board and she cares about so many causes around town. And here I am back because it's what I feel that I'm qualified to do and happy to do because I love the town and I love the people. So years ago, my dad was voted off the board and the next year he ran and he got back in. And so I feel that it was his ability to do that gave me the strength to go through the campaign and to fight hard enough to get myself back in position. So thank you, Norwood voters. I only won by 20 votes. That just goes to prove to you how important every single vote is. Some of you, one person was blind. I helped. They voted for the first time, 71 years old. Another person came and held a sign. I didn't even know they were going to come and hold a sign because they had been dreadfully sick for 2 years and they showed up. This is what Norwood is. This is who we are. Thank you all very, very, very much.
The town worked hard to ensure that this year's no-touch election would be safe and smooth for all the Norwood voters. Mary Lou Folan thanks the entire election team for putting together a great and safe election.
It was an awesome election, considering how long it took to get here. We started way back in March preparing. We thought it was going to be in April, and then that didn't happen with the pandemic and stuff. And it was finally here, and I think everything went great. I think people felt safe at the polls. And I want to just thank Tony Mazzucco for making it all the help that he gave us. I want to thank my staff. I can't thank my staff enough. It was a lot of work with the absentee ballots, and actually all the departments in the town that helped me out with it. It was a big collaboration.
Thank you to the town of Norwood for conducting a safe, no-touch election, and congratulations to our newly elected officials. This past weekend, the Norwood United for Peace and Justice group, along with the town, organized a prayer vigil at Town Common. Hundreds came to the Common to hear the accounts and experiences from leaders in the community regarding racial injustice.
A call for change. A call for change is an opportunity for every member of the community to have a seat at the table. To make every resident feel like a member of the family as opposed to a guest or a visitor, whose voices are audible and affect positive change. I urge you all to not waste your energy in anger, but to channel this energy to move us all forward to a place where we all feel like we're home. Thank you.
Definitely, it was surprising that this was only put together on Friday, and the fact that everyone was able to come together. It was really inspiring to me because for so long it didn't feel like no one was really on the same side. It felt like very much of a divide. To visually see everyone together was really inspiring. I think I started off my speech saying I feel defeated, but I feel hopeful now, and I think I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the future.
It was really nice to see everyone come out today. Like, it was nice just looking out and know everyone's taking these steps forward to make everything happen. It's really the little things that make these big changes. And the fact that people could come out and actually take time to listen and learn that's the big key to like actually go for these changes. So it was really nice. I really enjoyed it.
It was exhilarating. I really liked going up and being able to share my thoughts and speak from my heart about stuff that actually matters to me. I think as a kid, like growing up, I just wanted to talk to a lot of people about something that affects me because it's my skin color and it's what makes me me. And having this opportunity really it made me smile. It made me happy.
As someone who attended the vigil myself, I was really impressed by all the people that were there, the community that came out to support, and especially our young people, our Norwood Public School graduates who gave such powerful messages. Incredible. During the pandemic, Norwood Community Media and Norwood Hospital formed a partnership and have been producing updates to keep the community informed and provide the latest information. This week, President Dr. Sal Perla announced that the COVID-19 cases are very low at the hospital.
Like most other parts of the state, numbers have come down considerably. Here at Norwood, we're actually a little bit below the state average, and there's a variety of reasons for that. But as many of you know, certain towns and areas had higher numbers in the beginning, and that was us. So now our numbers have dropped off a little bit more than others, and that's just basically because of the time frame. The prevalence of COVID-19 is very low right now. At the peak, we had many dedicated COVID-19 dedicated units, but today we're actually very happy to say we have just a few patients in the entire hospital that are COVID. And what we do is we cohort them into one single unit. All of our units are around 20 to 25 patients. We actually only have 5 or 6 right now, and we isolate them in an area. And the rest of the hospital in the inpatient side is COVID-free. We do continue to have our outpatient testing center. We test patients in our emergency department. We test patients that are admitted to the hospital in a variety of other settings. But overall, again, the prevalence is very low.
Perla also explains why their outpatient testing centers continues to be very busy.
With regards to our outpatient testing center, so our testing center is actually very busy. There's a variety of reasons why. Well, one, we want to continue to promote testing. We want to continue to promote tracing. But most importantly is that we're now really testing the healthy population because they're coming in for those elective procedures, screening procedures, overall general health. So if you're coming in for a hernia that you've been waiting for several months, or any other type of surgical procedure, you will be tested. You'll go through the regular process like anyone else would. There is a standard process that your doctor will review with you, which includes, let's say you have the swab test done on a Wednesday. They're going to ask you to isolate until your test results come back or until your procedure is scheduled. They'll coordinate all of that with you. So we're actually seeing an increase in testing because people are starting to have those procedures that they've been delayed for several times.
We'll be right back after this break with some more town news.
We have a responsibility as a community
to give all our youth the best opportunity to succeed.
To stop a problem before it starts.
To not stigmatize mental health and addiction.
We have a responsibility
to promote positive youth and adult relationships.
To engage youth in the community.
We have a responsibility
to maintain.
To encourage.
To take pride in the health of our youth.
We have a responsibility to give all our youth the best opportunity to succeed.
Together we can make an impact.
Learn how you can be involved at impactnorwood.org.
Welcome back. The state announced some big news on Saturday that Phase 2 would begin on Monday. NCM's Brian Boudreau focuses on the new outdoor seating and filed this report.
Earlier this week, Governor Baker announced that we've entered Phase 2 of his reopening plan. Part of Phase 2 allows for outdoor dining. Here in Norwood, the Board of Selectmen, the Board of Health, the DPW, and the town planner have all worked together to help Norwood restaurants take their first steps into normalcy. As you travel through Norwood, you'll see many residents are venturing out of their homes and taking advantage of this outdoor dining.
Oh, I think it's awesome that they finally opened back up, finally getting the opportunity to go and eat again. It's strange being on the street. For the first time, I've experienced dining outside in Norwood Center, which I didn't think I was going to do this year. But it was actually a great experience, and I'm hoping to do it again sometime this week.
It's awesome to see other people, first and foremost. Or wait, no, that's not true. It's awesome not to have to cook. And you know what? Just missing all of the people that we normally come. We come here often, so it's great.
Restaurants have been able to provide takeout during COVID-19. This new outdoor seating allows for their staff to reconnect with their regular customers as well as new ones. Phase 2 has sparked creativity in the town, and there are many ways you can eat outside.
It's good. Just I feel like it's life in the town right now. It's very good, and the people excited to go out again, like something good new in Norwood.
Everything's kind of feeling back to normal, and seeing our customers that have been coming here for years. It's been really nice to have everyone kind of back. It's a nice sense of community.
Phase 2 provides the opportunity to get a taste for dining out again. This alfresco setup has created a new atmosphere here in Norwood and is bringing the community back together again. For Norwood News, I'm Brian Boudreau. Kristen?
Thanks, Brian. During this time, the rec department is usually gearing up for a busy summer full of play camps and crowded pools. This year, due to the current pandemic, things will look a little different. The rec department is doing their best to offer as much programming in a safe way to the residents of town. For more on what to expect this summer, we go to Travis Farley and Katie Seastead.
Obviously, the guidelines are rather hard to follow, but we want to provide the residents a safe water option for the summer. That being said, we are not going to be opening Father Mac's pool this summer. That's probably the biggest change you'll see. We are going to open up Haas. We feel it's the safest thing to do. It's going to allow us staff to focus on one pool, keeping it safe, clean for our residents. We are not going to sell season passes this year. We are going to have allocated swim times, 7 days a week, that you can pre-register for. That is very important. We encourage all residents to pre-register for those swim times. They're going to be about an hour of time. Then we're going to close the pool, and we are going to clean and sanitize it every hour to make sure it's a safe pool for our residents. It's going to be $3 a person and $12 max per family. We are not going to open the spray park this summer at Haas Pool just because it's very difficult to provide social distancing within the spray park itself. And the water in the spray park is not chlorinated, so it obviously does not kill the virus. Haas Pool, we open it for residents only. We are going to have a reduced bather load. This is, again, per the state. So we are going to have a limited capacity for those that can, so space will be limited. We are going to have a limited number we can let in the bathrooms. We are going to be adding social distance monitors to the pool deck to make sure people stay with respect social distancing. If you're on the pool deck, you have to wear a mask. So pools obviously are going to look a lot different this summer, but we feel it's a safe thing to do to follow these guidelines, and we're required to follow these guidelines to open the pool. So we appreciate everyone's patience with this, and obviously it's going to be an adjustment. But these are the things we need to do to open the pool this summer.
So we have our traditional camps, which is going to be running from Monday, July 6th to our last day is Friday, August 14th. Those are our traditional camps from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have junior play, which is entering kindergarten or first grade. Play camp, which is our entering second grade to fifth grade. And then we have our senior play, which is entering sixth grade to eighth grade. And those campsites are this year going to be different. We have Coakley, which is normally where we have it. However, we also expanded to Callahan and Cleveland to make sure that we have enough room at each site for social distancing for a group. So that's why you see that change. So we do have Coakley will have all age groups. Callahan will have just play group, play camp, which is our grades 2 through 5. And Cleveland will have both junior play and play camp age groups. Our registration is going live on June 15th for the first 2 weeks of play camp. We are going to be on-rolling registration, basically. So 2 weeks out from when you want to go to camp, people are going to register. The reason for doing this is if anything happens with phases going backwards, this will help us with the refund stuff and also just making sure that we're doing everything right week by week. And then we have our specialty camps. We have a lot of specialty camps that are still able to offer a lot of its individual sports and or programs. So this year we will still run with our tennis camps at night as well as in the day. We also have our field hockey clinic, which is going to be more skills and drills. We have fishing camp, Mustang sports. They will not be able to play contact sports, but most of our Mustang sports are actually in August, so that hopefully we're in either phase 3 or 4. However, that 1 week in July, we're able to pull off enough games as well as some swimming time. We have comic book, we have nature art, we have hands-on electronics, we have all about robotics, we have circuit makers, we have a camp. Some of these camps go beyond August 14th. Those are our specialty camps. So families should really, if you're looking for something for the later months in August or later weeks, I should say, these camps do go past August 14th. So I just want parents to know that, families to know that we do have offerings of different camps past August 14th. It's just our traditional camp that we run as a rec department ends on the 14th.
Thank you to Travis and Katie and the rest of the rec department staff for all your hard work during this time. Stay tuned after this break for some school and government news.
Hi, I'm Chief Bill Brooks of the Norwood Police Department. The men and women of the Norwood PD are committed to protecting you and to providing you with top quality service. We're busy. Norwood is a nice town, but in any given 24-hour cycle, we handle anywhere from 65 to 90 radio calls and officer-initiated events. We patrol the town's 10 square miles, including over 100 miles of roadways. Our traffic enforcement focuses on places where crashes have occurred, neighborhoods where residents have reported chronic violations, and offenses that impact crashes like speed, texting, running stop signs and red lights, and failing to yield to pedestrians. When we're not tied up on calls, we work hard to build relationships with members of the community. So you'll see our officers out walking footbeats, checking in with merchants, and stopping at sporting events to chat with kids. We believe that every resident should know, or at least feel like they know, a member of our department. So if you see us, stop and say hello. We'd love to chat with you. On behalf of the men and women of the Norwood Police Department, it's our pleasure to serve you.
Welcome back. In sports news this week, TVL girls basketball MVP Megan Olbrys was selected for the A Shot for Life Challenge. A Shot for Life, or ASFL, is a cancer research nonprofit organization that uses the talents of young high school basketball stars to help make a world impact. Members are selected based on their high school season shooting ability. Megan will be competing in the challenge on August 1st. You can make a donation to ASFL by visiting their website, ashotforlife.org. Congratulations, Megan. Go on to make Norwood very proud, as you always do. In government, Monday morning, the Board of Selectmen held a special meeting to allow for a number of agenda items to be voted on before the election. The main reason for the meeting to be held on Monday was to address and vote on the outdoor dining applications that were sent in from various restaurants around town. Monday was the beginning of Phase 2 of the state reopening, and this allowed restaurants to seek guests in outdoor seating at their establishments. The board approved all the applications for outdoor dining in Norwood.
So I have a motion and a second to approve rather. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? Mr. Hajar?
Aye.
Mr. Maloney?
Aye.
Mr. Plasko?
Aye.
Mr. Howard? Aye. And the chair votes aye. So those have been approved, and as we stated, there will be a final site review on all potential licensees as soon as we can get that done.
Following these approvals, the board briefly discussed 4 more agenda items: the town hall elevator repair, the small business grant program, police contracts, and the town meeting quorum legislation. Town moderator David Hearn joined the conversation about the pending legislation on the quorum for town meeting and how the town plans to host the meeting.
And Ms. Reese has indicated that from the point of view of the health department, all of that would be helpful, and that this meeting can be conducted in a safe manner. The chairs are laid out. They may be, the layout might be revised a little bit later this week, but the point is that enough space can be provided to have each chair separated by at least 6 feet. Everybody will be asked to wear masks, everybody attending the meeting. We will have other equipment available. We'll have some masks available. We will be sending out a notification to the town meeting members of greater details about this and what they should expect coming to the meeting. But we're still firming up those details. And the health department, the facilities director for the schools, Mr. Riccardi, is working on that. The health department is working on it. The clerk's office is weighing in on it, and I've been working on it.
The board voted to continue the town meeting discussion at their next meeting on June 16th. The Middle School Building Committee met for a short meeting Monday afternoon. The main agenda item was to review the rankings of the Owner Project Manager, or OPM, and appoint one of the 3 candidates interviewed. The board voted and approved to follow the rankings by beginning discussions with Compass, then PMA, and CBRE, Harry being the 3rd option if the first 2 failed to reach an agreement. The Middle School Building Committee's next meeting will take place in the coming weeks. On Tuesday, the town continued their Back to Business forums for the business and restaurant owners of Norwood. Segal Reese began the meeting with a PowerPoint that provided attendees with information on the state's reopening phases. Following that, Travis Farley spoke about the uses of the town parks and open space. Then Assistant Town Planner Pat DeShane announced a new plan that the town is working on to allow people to enjoy outdoor space downtown.
Kind of going hand in hand with the outdoor dining regulations that we put forward is an additional option of potential street closures. One of which is the closing of a portion of Central Street between Cottage and Nahattan. If you're familiar, it's the portion of Central right in front of Norwood Theater. This is a pretty inventive measure that we see throughout communities in the United States as a way to create place and a sense of gathering. And under normal circumstances, that's a great opportunity to bring people together. Obviously, with the current pandemic and the ongoing situation we have, this also enables us to provide extra communal seating options for anyone that would patronize a restaurant within our downtown, or even wants to take a walk within our downtown and be at the Commons. So this is it's a great opportunity that we're looking to conduct on a temporary basis throughout the weekend, and it's throughout the weekends of the summer. So it's currently ongoing. I know Travis Farley from the Rec Department has had a big hand in it as well, procuring the necessary equipment to conduct this. So we're looking forward to having this be something that serves a great purpose in an emergency basis, but maybe something that we could also take moving forward once we return to normalcy, and we can have this be as it was intended to be, which is a sense of creating place. So definitely definitely excited to see how this plays out throughout the summer.
To end the meeting, Joe Collins discussed the Norwood Fund and the Mustang Food Pantry. Then Paul Halkiotis fielded questions. Tuesday night, the Library Board of Trustees met and began their meeting with a realigning of their board. After a brief discussion, members of the board appointed, voted, and approved John Hall to be the next chairman of the Library Board of Trustees. Later in the meeting, the board discussed the amazing job that the library staff is doing to continue to provide services to the residents of Norwood.
The minutes for the last meeting, Casey accurately recorded my praise for Charlotte and Lydia for the development of the plan. The minutes for this meeting will show Ms. O'Leary's appreciation for the implementation of the plan, but I'm wondering whether it might not be good for the record to have a board motion so we're all on record as having the appreciation for what was done. And I will so move.
Second.
No, definitely.
I think that this one we can get away without the roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Good.
To end the meeting, Director of the Library, Charlotte Kennelly, had an announcement for the board.
I sent a letter at 6:30. Probably people don't have a copy of it, but I wanted to make sure that the letter was sent so that the general manager had a copy of it tonight at the time of the board meeting, along with the board. And Sarah has a copy, I believe. And everyone should have
I do.
one in their email, but I did confer with Sarah and with John before I sent the letter so that they would know that it was coming. And that is a letter that I intend to resign on January 30th, 2021, which is 7.5 months from now. So it's official.
The board then discussed the early steps they will need to take to eventually fill the role of library director. The Library Board of Trustees will meet again in September. Wednesday night, the Community Preservation Committee began their meeting with a reorganization of the board. After a brief discussion, Peter McFarland was appointed and approved as the new chairman of the committee. Cheryl Doyle was appointed as vice chair, and John Apria was appointed treasurer. Following the reorganization, the committee discussed the meeting timeline for the remainder of the year and what they need to do to prepare for the fall town meeting. The meeting concluded with a discussion about the pre-approval process for the CPC applications. The Community Preservation Committee will meet again in July. The Cultural Council met briefly Thursday night with 4 items on their agenda. To begin the meeting, the council discussed the Treasury update, then went into MCC updates. Following the updates, the council discussed the possibility of Art Week in 2021. The next Cultural Council meeting will be in the following weeks. To watch complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for some more town news.
Stop by the Norwood Morrill Memorial Library and check out magazines, newspapers, DVDs, and of course, books. The library also offers a variety of services, including passport renewal, a notary, and tutoring, with multiple different meeting rooms which can be booked for your convenience. Take advantage of online digital resources and get assistance with all of your research needs. Kids can enjoy the children's room stocked with books and toys. There are also a variety of programs for children and adults. And if you can't make it into the library can come to you with home delivery. The library is open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. To learn more, go to www.norwoodlibrary.org.
Welcome back. On Thursday night, Impact Norwood and the Oasis Coalition of Stoughton sponsored a motivational webinar with 5-time Olympian, cancer survivor, and mom, Keegan Randall. Keegan shared her story of perseverance and provided us all with some much-needed motivation.
And then we step up on the podium and they present us with the medals. And I had this little superstition that I didn't want to touch an Olympic medal until I exhausted all my chances to win one. I'd actually been at a party once and a bronze medal came by and I had to pull kind of a matrix move out of the way. So I lean over for them to present the medal around my neck. And I totally did not expect it to be as heavy as this thing is. And I almost fell off the podium. But as I did feel the weight of this medal around my neck, standing next to my teammate, looking out into the crowd, all my teammates there, my family, it really is appropriate that these things are so heavy because of all that it took to get there. And in that moment, I thought back over the journey and I realized that this roadmap that had started with this flicker of an idea at 19 years old, that was going to be this 10-year process, it ultimately took 16 years. And it wasn't this perfect stair step, okay, everything goes perfectly. It actually looked a little bit more like this. It was up sometimes and down other times, but being inspired by that dream, staying committed, working on those steps one at a time, building a team that I would ultimately say was the best part of this whole process. I mean, shiny medals are nice, but the experiences I had with the people that I did this with are my greatest treasures from my athletic career.
Earlier this week, News Director Mike Maloof sat down with Norfolk County Sheriff Jerry McDermott to talk about how COVID has affected the Norfolk Sheriff's Department.
Right away, we started asking people to take seriously cleaning and sanitizing, covering their nose and their mouth if they coughed or sneezed, those types of things. But then as it grew more serious and we got close to the point in early March when the governor was ordering a state of emergency, we all took other measures. So we immediately put in place some protocols where, nobody could come into the building without having their temperature checked. We stopped all contact visits first, and then we stopped all non-contact visits. We had non-essential workers stay home. We limited the number of vendors, except for the essential ones, of course, that bring food or medical equipment or PPE, personal protective equipment, up to the House of Correction. So it certainly has impacted us a lot. The other thing that it's impacted is the courts. So as you know, the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office, we receive our inmates either through the courts or their safekeeps from places like Norwood Police Department. It impacted us because it hasn't been normal operations for quite some time at the courts. Everything's now virtual arraignments, video conferencing for any kind of hearings or motions. We also saw, Michael, the Supreme Judicial Court rule against the 14 county sheriffs and 7 district attorneys and say that due to the COVID-19 virus, they would like certain inmates that are pre-trial with underlying medical conditions, and the list was pretty extensive, to be allowed out and then turn themselves back in within 14 days after the state of emergency ends. You can imagine some of the comments I got from the inmates. A couple of them were chuckling like, yeah, good luck finding me. But we saw close to 110 inmates be released by court order. And, we weren't in favor of that at all. We've seen our inmate count go down dramatically from a high of, say, 475 to about 307 now. Many of those numbers are people that were getting out at the end of their sentence anyway. But because of the court ruling, you saw a lot of men back out on the streets who were not getting the services they needed.
To watch the full interview, tune into Norwood Community Media's community channel. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.